Okay, so to you people from the C1, excellent. We're going to start looking at a bit of stuff, and particularly because I think your progress is very good. Your progress is very good with your reading and with your writing and with just about everything. But I think there's some little details which we can look at. So we're going to look at those today, look at a few different things. This is one of them. Okay, so we're going to look at very, very specific things. So things we need to do to practice talking. And when we're doing the speaking exam, one of the most important things that we have to do is, well, pronunciation, our grammar, our vocabulary. But we've also got this thing about the pronunciation and the intonation, okay? So look at these words, look at all these words, lovely words, beautiful words, of course, absolutely fantastic words. And they've all got something in common, you know that? All these words have got something in common. Any ideas? Any ideas? Okay, let me see. I'm going to ask you to pronounce them. I'm going to ask one of you to start pronouncing these words. And if you get it correct, you can continue to the next word. But if you don't get it correct, I'll say stop. I will ask somebody else to pronounce the word. Okay? So can you see it? So who's at the top of my screen? Top of my screen at the moment is Luisa Maria. So can you say the first word here, please?
Aspirin.
Sorry?
Aspirin.
No, okay, sorry. No, it's not correct. Okay. Anna Belen, can you say the first word, please?
Aspirin.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Alvaro Yugueros, can you say the first word, please?
Aspirin.
Yeah, not bad. Rocio, can you say the first word, please?
Aspirin.
Oh, that's really good. Okay. All right, Rocio. And the next one?
Avirate.
Not too bad. The third one, Rocio?
Avirate.
And the next word?
Business.
Wow, this is amazing. And the fourth word, continue.
Camera.
No, Miriam, what's the fourth word?
Camera.
No, Francisco Gonzalez, what's the fourth word?
Camera.
Andres Llorente, what's the fourth word?
Camera.
Maria Eugenia, what's the fourth word, please?
Camera.
That's better, but it's not perfect. Listen. Aspirin. Average. Business. Camera. Listen, aspirin, average, business, camera. They've all got something in common, haven't they? They've all got something in common.
Only 2 syllables. No?
We don't pronounce all the syllables. It's not that there are silent letters. Okay, but this is what we call our ellipsis, isn't it? The ellipsis when we eat a bit of the word. So aspirin, average, business, camera. So what's the next one, Luisa Maria?
Chocolate.
What?
Chocolate.
All right, chocolate. Yeah. Right, and the next one, Luisa Maria, continue.
Conference.
Conference. Good. Continue.
Corporal.
Corporal.
Uy.
Yeah.
Mm,
Go on.
uy. I can. Oh no, sorry. Desperate.
Desperate. Good. Desperate. Okay. And Anna Boleyn, continue after desperate.
Different.
Yeah. Continue.
Evening.
Mm-hmm.
Every. General.
No.
Ah.
What's that one then? Alvaro Yugueros.
General.
Yeah, general. Good. Go on.
Family.
Yeah.
Favorite.
Rocio.
Favorite.
Favorite. Okay. Go on, Rocio, again.
Favorite.
Good. Continue.
Federal.
All right. Go on.
Finally.
Miriam.
Finally,
Go on, Miriam, again.
the same word.
Yeah.
Finally.
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 All right, go on.
History.
Again.
History.
History.
Interest.
Francisco Gonzalez.
Interest.
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 And the next one.
Me.
Yeah.
Margarine.
All right, it's a very difficult one. I don't know why it's here because it's margarine or margarine. But it's not a very common word, so don't worry. Continue, Francisco.
Memory.
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 Okay, next.
Mineral.
But trust yourself. Mineral.
Mineral.
Mineral, yeah. Okay. And
Oh.
Andres.
Opera.
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 Opera. Okay, go on.
Separate.
Separate. Good.
Several.
Several. Good.
Generally.
All right. Maria Eugenia.
Interest.
The next one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting. Okay. Go on.
Miserable.
Yeah.
Operator.
Operator. Or operator. That's a little bit more different. Okay. Yeah. Operator. Yeah. Next one.
Vegetable.
What's the correct pronunciation of that word, you think? Rocio?
Vegetable.
No, not so good, not so good. And Anna Belen?
Vegetable. Vegetable.
Vegetable. Good. Okay, and the next one, Miriam?
Laboratory.
All right, laboratory.
Laboratory.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, well, it's just good for you to learn, also for you to learn that when we're doing dictations and when we're listening to dictations, that sometimes the words we're listening to might be quite long. But because the way they're pronounced, a conference, or memory, and then you think, is that the same word that I think it is? Maybe it sounds a bit different. Okay, so of course the pronunciation is different from the spelling. That's very important when we're doing dictation, when we're speaking as well, but I think it's a little bit more difficult when we're speaking. Okay, let's look at an essay and tell me what you think. Here we go. This is question 8, isn't it? Question 8. So you can imagine in question 7, you were reading a text which was talking about, okay, see you, Rocio, bye-bye. So imagine in your question number 7, it was talking about communication between animals. Okay. So first of all, read it. What do you think? How many points out of 10 would you give it? Look very quickly. Okay. How many points in the chat box? How many points would you give it? Out of 10, maximum 10. Miriam says 8. She's very generous. Thank you, Miriam. Francisco says 8. Luis Maria says 9. Gosh. .5 says Alvaro. Okay, yeah, I think it's about 6.57. 7. Yeah, it's a 7 because it's actually quite good, isn't it? Yeah, actually quite good. At least the writing is very good. Except it's too long. 170 words. That's actually, you've lost 20% of your marks. Okay. If you got 6.5 and you have lost 20% of your marks, that's 13 points, which means instead of 52, sorry, you've got 52 points. And 52 points is quite low, isn't it? If you've lost 20% of 6.5. And that's the way it works. Because if you have written so many 171 words, that's, 20% extra. So if you just write a few more words, you might lose 5%. But if you write a significantly longer piece, then you're going to lose around 20%. All right, then. So we have to get rid of a few. We have to get rid of 21 words at least. What can we do? Yeah. What would you remove from this? What would you remove from this? Look at the text, please. Álvaro Yugueros. If you look at this text, which part would you remove to make it shorter?
I removed in the third paragraph where it say, for example, feelings, physical and mental pain, etc.
Absolutely, because you can't start really like this it's not even a sentence, is it? There's no verb in the sentence. Absolutely. So you get rid of that. Good. Yep. Another one.
And yeah, the second paragraph, B's, for example, communicate through movements.
Mm-hmm.
Or they make a path and leave substances, because if you explain the first in the previous line how communicate the bees, when with example, I think is enough, because you can save 15 words, one of these two.
One of the two. Oof, that's a difficult one, actually. I think that's difficult because they're extremely good sentences, aren't they? So you could get rid of them, of course, but they're very good quality. Maybe something else.
Or you can join the idea in these two paragraphs.
Okay.
Bees, for example, communicate through movements and make a path and leave substances. And continue, and you save 10 words more. Or
Yeah, difficult. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I thought, yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah, I thought maybe this one, you know. I don't like the conclusion very much, so I'd make that shorter. Yep. It's very good. Yep. We can also just get rid of that as well, really, can't it? Couldn't we? See, yeah, so you have to look for two things. You either have to look for anything which is repetitive. If you have to remove or shorten your writing, you have to look at anything which is repetitive, which says the same thing, anything which is too long, and specifically anything which is repeating part of the question. Okay, so in fact, even this one, okay, this might be part of the question that you're just really repeating the same thing. But it is important that when you have to remove words, when you have to make it shorter, that you make sure you're taking whole sentences away, okay? And the way that you have to do that, instead of just, what I mean to say is, don't try to write it again. Keep it as it is and just take your pen and write through, okay, the bits you don't want. And if you have time, then you can write it out again, nice. But don't try to write it again. That will just confuse you and it will make it too long, okay? I'm wondering here about the structure. We said there are 3 things to include. Your thoughts about whether animals use language or not, what you think about the claims of the internet expert, and how the discovery of animal language might change how we behave towards our fellow creatures. Which part is not included in here. One of these three things, 1, 2, so the green, the red, or the blue, one part is not really mentioned in the text. Which
The red,
part?
the red part, the red part.
Absolutely. What do you think, or what you think about the claims of the internet expert? There's no mention, you see, there's no mention of what the internet expert says. And the point is, because we're being asked to include 3 points very explicitly, we also have to be explicit, okay? So we would have to mention what the internet expert said. Okay, here we go. Now, this is another version, specifically 150 words. Another person wrote this, not me. Look at it. How many points would you give this? Oh, sorry, excuse me. It was the same person, but they did it a second time, okay? So that's why some parts are exactly the same.
But George, any question? Have we respect the other to the and intend to write the other? So first, the thoughts about weather animals. Second, what you think about the cranes, or depends on you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's very important that you write things for, especially for number 8, that you write them in the same order.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. Any things there which are not correct? You wouldn't give it 10, of course. You wouldn't even give it 9, but definitely get 8. There's just some small mistakes there. There's some small mistakes. There's a couple of small mistakes there. So, what do you think? What do you think? Can you identify any of the small mistakes there? It is said that the human being is the animal species that has a language. Okay, good. Some time ago, it was discovered how other animal species also maintain a type of language. How is not the best word there, is it? What would a better word be there? It was discovered. Well, it was discovered how is not too bad, but maybe it was just discovered that, yeah. Which might be better. Okay. My opinion is that animals must communicate, but they only make noise. So it's not really a language. Oh, wow, that's fantastic. The expert in your magazine seems to make some strange arguments, but perhaps she is more interested in seeing her name in your publication. That she is in animals? Than she is in animals. Oh, we want to get rid of that, then in animals. Okay. maybe you pay her too much. I agree with some things.
But
Good. Discovering that animals also communicate can change the perception of society. Can is not the best word there. What should we use?
Cool.
Sorry?
Cool.
What's
Cool
this?
change.
May.
Um,
Okay.
and might, why not?
And what?
Might.
Might.
or-
Oh,
Yes.
might. Okay, yeah. Sorry, that would be good. Yeah, might. Yeah, would also be good. Yeah, good. Yeah. Okay. May or might, which are really synonymous and can be exchanged. Might change the perception of society. If they also communicate, it means they may also have other advanced intelligence factors. For example, feeling. That's the only one I don't like. For example, we saw this before. It's not a sentence, is it? Okay. This can benefit those who advocate a vegan lifestyle as it scientifically proves them right. Perfect. Okay. But the most important thing is the clarity of 1, 2, 3. So think about that next time you're writing. Okay.
but it's a letter.
Okay.
It's not a dear editor or dear
Well,
and the end regards
yeah.
or
Okay. And we could say, look, they say human beings, if we want to, make sure we've got enough words, are the only species with a language, right? So we don't want to make it, okay. And then at the end you said, sincerely, right, okay. Oh, a helicopter. Wow. There we go. And then we're still keeping it. Yes, we could do. To be honest, though, in this kind of letter, if it's a letter to a magazine, then it's a letter that we expect to have published in the magazine, isn't it? It's like a blog or an answer to something, a comment on a web page. So we don't have to go through any of the, being polite. How are you? Yeah. I'm well. So it's not like that kind of letter. Okay. Okay, let's go on then. Your writing is good. Your writing is perfect. For the moment, for the exam, you're going to pass the writing part of the exam. Okay. I know you are. Okay. Let's go on now. Some reading. Reading. Look at that. Words with similar meanings. Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 minutes. What's the best word? What's the best word? Try and think for a moment. The best word. Okay. Sorry, it changed. Okay. Here we go then. Words with similar meanings then. What's number one? What's number one? What do you think, Luisa?
Number one is A, keeping focus.
Keeping, and B,
No, sorry. No. Keep in mind, sorry.
to keep in mind. Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. Because that's it, isn't it? That's our idiom. That's our collocation, to keep something in mind or to keep in mind. Yep.
Okay.
Good. Wait a minute. What if we used at? We can't keep at mind. What would it be? What word can we use after at?
Sure.
At heart. Yeah. So we have to be mindful. There's no use of English, no grammar exam in our C1, in our Pearson, but this one, it's similar, okay? It's almost like use of English, which is the best idiom or the best collocation. Anyway, to keep in mind, that's good. All right, what about the next one? Alvaro?
I don't know. I put thinly, but I don't know if it's correct.
Any ideas? Loosely, okay. Again, the collocation, loose goes with definition or loosely defined. It's a loose definition. It's loosely defined. It's a collocation. Wow, what about the next one? Next one, Miriam.
Maybe C, delivery.
Delivery, excellent, excellent. Here, it's more a case of meaning, okay? So if you understand, if you understand anything about business, then you understand it's the delivery of shareholder rewards. Excellent, good. Okay, and the next one, Ana Belén.
But maybe A.
Subject to. Absolutely, something is
Okay.
subject to interpretation. It's also liable to, but then the meaning would be different, wouldn't it? Excellent, well done. And Francisco.
Argue that it is ignorance to
To A, B, or C.
I don't know, B or
Well,
A.
hold on a minute. Credulous. We understand. I mean, this is like Spanish, isn't it? Credulous is a Latin word. And we don't know if it were incredulous, okay, but this is credulous. So no, it's not. So it's A or C. Which one do you think, Francisco?
A.
Immature. And it's not. It's simplistic. Why? Because simplistic, again, is a word which goes with argue or argument. And there's not a particular reason. You could say immature, we suppose, but we know from the use of the words, the same that, like number two, thinly defined or a thin definition, sorry, sorry, loosely defined or a loose definition is going to be similar to 5, that it's too simplistic. The argument is too simplistic. So you'd look at it if it were a different word and go, that's not right. Okay, interesting. So let's look at some more, 6 more. As I say, if you were reading more English, you would see these and go, I don't know which the right one is, but I know if I write it down, I know it's not right. So sometimes it's easier. Let's try another one then. Give you another 3 minutes then. And remember, with these ones, it's not always, it's not all, I mean, sometimes you could have 2 correct answers, but we really need to know the one which is the perfect fit. Good. Okay, then. So what about number 6 then? Maria Luisa? Luisa Maria, I'm so sorry.
Number 6 is B, extensive informing.
Absolutely, good. Yep, good. And Alvaro, what about number 2? Number 7.
I don't know what's the meaning of these options, this word, so I put A. But I
Hey,
don't know.
well done, good. Absolutely, well done. To foster, to encourage the idea, to promote the idea. That's very good. And Miriam.
Maybe letter B.
No.
Will do. No. I don't know the meaning to letter C.
So
Conductive.
conducted, well done. And it is to conduct research, always good. So that's very good. And Anna Belen. What about number 9?
Maybe head, C.
Yeah, and it is head, okay, because we know that with this preposition or this adverbial, it's going to be head into, okay, head towards. So that's correct. Good. And number 10. Number 10, Francisco Gonzalez.
Incentives.
Incentives, good. Financial incentives, good. So it's a little bit like the use of English, really, isn't it? Yeah. We wouldn't normally, I don't think we'd normally have the situation of using conditional tenses and then having 1, 2, 3 different grammatical forms or verb forms. Wouldn't get to that. But definitely this is more like the use of English, which is obviously this is question 4, isn't it? Because it's the first reading question. Okay. Good. Okay. Right. Look at this. Look at two expressions here using a passive form. Sorry. I can exactly what happened here. And here. Sorry. Independent. All right, this is just got all mixed up. I'm not sure. Okay, but we've got okay. So there we go. Okay. Active and passive. There we got the passive, right? So someone needs to conduct the research independently and the research needs to be conducted, right? There's the difference. Needs to conduct, needs to be conducted. Is that correct? Passive. Sometimes the way you use the passive is very good and sometimes it's not so good. Okay, so let's try this together, please. Let's try this together and see. So you must see it to believe it. You must see it to believe it. Can you give me the perfect sentence? You can write it in the chat box if you like. Write it in the chat box. The perfect passive form of this, please. Remember, there are 2 verbs in here with a modal verb. But there's only one it. Okay, there's only one it. Let's have some accuracy, some perfect writing now. Okay, Maria Eugenia, we can do it better than that. We can do it better than that. It's not too bad. There we go, Alvaro. Well done. Thank you. Perfect. It must be seen to be believed. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Thank you. Next one, number 2, passive. The important thing here is it's in the continuous sense. It's in the continuous tense. So one of the verbs must also be in the continuous. Not Luisa Maria, not exactly. Remember, it's the passive. So we are suddenly not important. Good. Okay. Excellent. Thank you. The routine jobs are being outsourced. Yep. What about this one? Difficult because we've got complements. The most talented can no longer be excellent. Wow. Okay. On fire today. Excellent. Look at that. Okay. And one last one. There you go, Maria Eugenia. Much better. Yeah. But it's can. We don't need to use could. And number 5. Okay. Yeah, a strategic vision needs to be a clear. No. Oh, no. I'm sorry. No. Excuse me. Not so good. Not so good. There we go. Luisa Maria. Yeah. Not exactly, but nearby. Nearly. Needs. Let's look. Obviously, it's passive, so we need the verb to be. Which form? Because it's in the present, isn't it? Is needed. Okay. By our entrepreneurs. Yeah. Okay, so what was missing really was the is. Okay. Okay, and just one more then. Number 7. This is really difficult, right? It starts with continue. So the pollution was not all right, Maria Eugenia, that's a good try, but it's not exactly. What's the verb going to be there then? The pollution was not expected to
to cause lasting damage.
cause. But look at
Cause
this.
what?
Any lasting damage, okay? So it becomes really complex, doesn't it? Because because the verb is now in the negative, okay? It's in the affirmative, no lasting damage, but because it's not expected, any, remember, not and any. So everything changes around. There's a lot of different rules there together. Okay, so sometimes you have to think about these things too, about this is grammar, kind of in its purest form, isn't it? Right, but we need these little details to get extra points. Let's continue with some listening. What we're doing today is looking at the exam format and taking it into little fragments and then putting it back together. And that way we understand the exam much better. Here we go. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yep. Listen to the question.
This is the Pearson Test of English General Paper, taken to achieve the Pearson English International Certificate Level 4. This test takes 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Section 1. You will have 10 seconds to read each question and the corresponding options. Then, listen to the recording. After the recording, you will have 10 seconds to choose the correct option. Put a cross in the box next to the correct answer, as in the example.
Example.
Listen to the man speaking. What is this an extract from?
Be one of the few, the proud, the Marines.
The correct answer is B.
Well, of course, the correct answer is not B. The correct answer is
Number 1.
the correct answer is A,
A.
because what we're listening to is the question. I'm not interested in the right answer. What we want to know is which question is it talking about? B, C, D, E, F, G. Obviously, the first one was the example, which we always use, and the answer was A, was in A, of course. Let's listen to the second one. You tell me, which question is it referring to, please?
Listen to the conversation. Which word best describes the woman's attitude? Excuse me, madam. Would you mind taking part in this survey we're doing?
I'm a bit pressed for time, actually.
It'll only take a few minutes.
Oh, all right then, as long as it does. What's it about?
Which letter would that be then?
Number 2.
Which one is that referring to? Write your answer in the box, please. Remember, what we're trying to do is to decide. We're trying to decide here which question the recording is referring to. We're not interested in the answer, but which recording. So the question was, which word best describes the woman's attitude?
K.
It can only be K, actually, can't it? We didn't have to listen because it was a one-word answer. Very good. So it's K. All right, then. Good. So K is finished. There we go. K is finished. So next one. Next one. So the important thing is to listen to the question. Sorry.
Listen to the man and the woman. What are they talking about?
So, what did you think of the numbers she went over?
I don't know. From what she said, it looks like it's been a good quarter.
Yeah, it sounds like we'll be able to invest in our proposal.
Number 3.
Any ideas? E. I. Absolutely. I. Because obviously there were two people talking about work and talking about money. Let's see if we get the hang of this. Let's do a next one. Number 3. I'm sorry for getting that. I don't know, I'm getting these hearts everywhere. I'm sorry.
Listen to the man speaking. What does he say about learning?
I know a lot of people are self-taught, but it's handy to get some instruction in basic techniques. Okay, maybe you'd get there eventually by working it out for yourself, but if someone who knows what they're doing can just tell you how to do something, it's kind of a shortcut, you know?
Which letter would that be? Alvaro says B. Anybody else say B? B, says Francisco. Yeah, because he starts off talking about learning. Learning alone, teaching yourself, learning with a teacher. So these are things which we can infer, obviously. Let's go on.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Listen to the people talking. What did the woman like most about going to the shop?
I can't believe you queued up for an hour just to get into a shop.
It was the launch of their flagship store.
That rowdy music was really off-putting. Was it worth it?
Yeah, there was a bit too much fanfare, and there weren't as many bargains as we'd expected. But I got a door prize on the way out, so it worked out well.
And which question is that going to be? J. Yeah, because they were talking about the music and the price and stuff like that. Very good. Yep. Okay.
Number 5.
Listen to the woman speaking. Why does she say she doesn't learn new skills?
There are a number of things I'd like to be able to do, if only I didn't have to go through the process of learning them. I just can't seem to be bothered spending hours learning something. I just want to be able to do it.
So? Yeah, good. D, absolutely. Okay, we're getting better. We're getting better. That's very good. Very good. Next one.
Number 6.
Listen to the man talking about tomatoes. What are scientists working on?
Okay, so yeah. So that's actually lucky, isn't
Now,
it?
to combat widespread public dissatisfaction with supermarket perfect tomatoes like mine, in other words, ones that look great but are deceptively bland and tasteless when you eat them, scientists have now tracked down and published the cocktail of chemicals that need to be there to constitute a much more flavoursome fruit.
Well,
Because it's tomato, but
it was quite difficult, wasn't it?
Yes.
Because he was talking very fast.
Number 7.
Yeah.
Listen to the woman speaking. What is she saying about what she bought?
Okay.
I wanted something to explain climate change, and this is what I got. The science is explained well and goes over the basics without being dumbed down. And it's very objective in explaining different possible scenarios, each unit focusing on the science, not the politics. And although it's got a bit of jargon and terminology in it, it should still be accessible even for those with little background knowledge in the subject.
What's she talking about there? Alvaro says F. Francisco says F. And what is the object that she bought? It is good. Yeah. What do you think the object is that she bought?
The climate.
Yeah, but that's what she's talking about. But what did she actually buy at the shop? Or at Amazon or whatever? Probably a book, right? Or a DVD or something like that. These are not very complicated, actually. Right. Let's go on. Oh.
Number 8.
Listen to the man talking about computers in education. What does he say is the advantage of computers over traditional learning methods?
There are 3 ways to teach. Tell people, show people, let them do it themselves. And with computers, they're doing it themselves earlier. They've got their hands on the keyboard and they're actually manipulating it, drawing down the information, reading it, passing it on, processing it, everything, and much quicker. And so kids absolutely love it.
Yep. So, C, absolutely well done. There we go. C.
Number 9.
Listen to the man speaking. What does he say?
It is believed the origin of money started from direct trading of goods or services, for example, trading tools or labor for food. Eventually, precious resources like gold or gemstones that yield significant value to society replaced the previous practice, and this later evolved into use of other common materials like coins and paper, in other words, money.
Okay. Good. Okay, because there we got the key word and you're starting to focus because there's only two choices, but we can do this from the beginning, can't we? Okay. And finally, H. I wonder what they're talking about. H. I want you to tell me what's the correct answer. 1, 2, or 3, because we know what it's going to be, of course. So let's listen to the answer.
Number 10.
Listen to the speaker. What qualities does the speaker believe the modern sportsperson needs?
I think it's true to say that in modern top-level sport, it's not enough to be talented and skillful. You also have to have a mental strength to deal with more expectations from sports fans and broadcasters than ever before. The pressure we place on our sporting heroes is not easy for them to deal with.
What's the answer? Is it learn to perform consistently, avoid the media to develop, or handle both media and public? Alvaro says A. Maria Eugenia says B. It says A. And of course it's C, isn't it? So apart from learning to perform, you also have to handle the media and the public. All right, good. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to stop recording now in a moment. But one of the things I wanted you to do and to look at today was specifically, let's get behind the exam and let's start thinking about the technique of the exam and the structure of the exam. So this weekend you do a practice test at home from your skills booster, but have a real look at the questions beforehand so you get an idea of what they're expecting or what you can expect from them. Okay? Is that good? Of course, it's always very good, isn't it? But Tuesdays especially are very, very good days for class. So let's stop our recording now.